Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a knife video for you. And today I've got a first impressions, not on this knife, but I want to start with this knife because I'm also going to have a little bit of a discussion here. And the point is, well, I guess where I want to start is this is one of my favorite knives. This is a fantastic knife, highly recommended. You know, when it comes to what you get for what you pay, the performance that you're going to get out of this, the comfort, the ergonomics, the general cutting ability. This is an absolutely fantastic knife. Not to mention, it's one of the knives that got me into knives in the first place. I've told this story before very briefly. I was watching, back in the day on Discovery Channel, they used to have this show about warriors, and they'd pit one warrior against another, and they were doing like special forces. And the Navy SEAL, the U.S. Navy SEAL that they featured on the show, his kit included a Cold Steel Recon 1. Now, it was the one that with the sort of the axis-ish lock from way back, okay? But that was one of the things that piqued my interest in higher quality folding knives and got me kind of thinking along the lines of, I wonder what's out there. So this knife gets a lot of credit for even me being here and talking to you guys. So I wanted to throw that out there first of all. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is this knife. There used to be a few more versions of it. I believe right now you can get, well, up until just a short time ago, you could get this, or there was like an XL version. There used to be a couple smaller versions, a mini and a micro, and they had gone away, except that when GSM bought Cold Steel, they put this sort of offer out there as a sign of good faith that they're going to keep being the Cold Steel that we've come to know and love, that they would bring back popular models that people wanted to see. One of those that was the Talwar, and I am going to buy one on principle alone, and that's the same reason I'm sharing this knife right here. This is the Mini Recon 1. Now, there are some changes. We'll go over those quickly, but this is a knife that I've largely purchased and I'm sharing with you on principle because I want to encourage GSM to do this, right? They listened to the fans. They brought back a knife that a lot of fans wanted to see, and I really, really appreciate that. And so I want to promote that kind of thing. I also plan to get a Talwar when they become available. They're not available yet, but when they do, I have every intention of buying one. The other thing that I wanted to check out about this knife is they've made changes to the Recon 1. Now, I'm not going to replace this Recon 1, but this does give me an opportunity to check out sort of what they're doing with the line, assuming that it's going to be a similar type of thing. All right, so let's get this box out of the way and take a look at the knife itself. So here we go. You can see already that this looks a little bit different. It's thinner. The G10 is not G10 and not as aggressive of texturing. The blade is quite heavily stone washed. Okay, so what we have here is an AUS 10 spear point blade with a flat grind, and that AUS 10 steel is a really, really good steel. I had really nice performance out of it when I tried it on the Formax Scout. I will say I'm not in love with the new logo, and I'm certainly not in love with it as, plastered on the blade right here. I would have liked to see this maybe down here or somewhere just a little less noticeable. Recon 1 I don't mind so much because it kind of looks okay. Anyway, stonewash finish, flat ground blade, moderately thick blade stock. This is, of course, a triad lock on washers. All right. And here's another big change. So one change is the steel material and the finish. Next change is going to be the handle material. This is glass reinforced nylon. It is not G10. By the way, I like that I think Cold Steel always used to call it Grivery, and it was sort of like their proprietary glass reinforced nylon, and I always thought that was kind of dumb. So now they're just calling it glass reinforced nylon. I will say this. Okay, let me give you a quick look at the internals there. You can see a little bit of steel extending into the handle, so I'm glad to see that. If you're going to use glass reinforced nylon, this is the best implementation I have seen. This feels very solid, nice and grippy. Now, it's not as it's not as grippy, it's not as aggressive as the Recon 1, but it's pretty good, and I don't really have any concerns that this is going to like slip out of my hand or be a problem from that perspective. This is obviously quite a bit smaller than what I would normally be interested in. I guess I should continue with the features. So we talked about the triad lock. We didn't touch on movable clip. And we didn't, and I did talk about the internals, so you can see those again. Okay, so I think that's everything that I want to touch on in terms of what this includes. Give you a quick rundown on size. This is just a hair over 7 inches. By the way, the box includes some numbers, which, as usual from Cold Steel, are not quite accurate. Okay. um, the blade measures, or overall length is just over 7 inches as measured by me. The blade is just under 3 inches. Steel is AUS 10, so that's good. 3.3 ounces is what I got on my scale. And the handle, 4 inches of handle. I got 4 3/8 on the handle length that's measured to here. Okay, so maybe they're just nominal. Maybe Cold Steel's like, well, we call it a 2x4, even though it's not 2x4. So we're just going to go with like 3-inch blade, 4-inch handle. Close enough. So that's just a quick rundown. I am going to carry this and put some use on it just to kind of get to know it. It is definitely smaller than what I would like to carry. All right, but I know a lot of you like this size, and a lot of people really wanted to see this come back. So now it's back in a cheaper version. And let me just say this. If you want a small, useful cutting tool that's affordable and still really, really tough, I think this is great. Okay, I really do think Cold Steel's done a good job here. It feels still like a Cold Steel. It feels like a Recon 1. Do I miss the G10 a little bit? Now, part of this, by the way, is, just my hand size not really fitting. So on my full-size Recon 1, it feels great. I love the ergonomics here. This one, I am pretty cramped, and I really can't, without backing my hand way off and holding the knife kind of like this in a weird way, I can't really use this thumb ramp. I've got to kind of come up here or in a hammer grip, and so the ergonomics for me don't really work because my hands, I guess, are just a little too big. But I'm assuming if you love this knife already, your hands probably fit it perfectly. Okay, so there you go, guys. That's my first impression on the new Cold Steel Recon 1. The main point here is that I am really glad to see Cold Steel doing this, offering a bit of fan service and trying their best to satisfy the existing Cold Steel fans. I hope that that's what continues to happen. I hope that they still continue to make knives that I can love, that still connect with me as Cold Steel knives. I guess we'll see. When the full-size Talwar comes out, I do plan to get that knife, and that'll probably be a good test. And really, the bigger test will be, this is 2021, 22, 23, 24, that'll be where we really start to see what the long-term plans are for Cold Steel in terms of what GSM has in mind. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget, check out Justin over at White Mountain Knives. That's where this came from, and at the time of filming this, he did have more. It seems like as soon as they probably immediately sold out the minute I said that, but if you want one, just keep an eye on White Mountain Knives, and he will get them back in stock, and you'll be able to get one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.